My name's Jareh. I'm a curator and researcher based between Lagos and London. So we're here at Xavier Hufkens in Brussels on the occasion of Ulala Imai's solo exhibition Memory, her first in Belgium, which has really brought together a recent body of work exploring Imai's unique approach to still life painting. So one of the things that really has struck me about Imai's work is this point of departure where objects that are familiar in her everyday life, domestic life of the home, take on this other existence in painting. And we sort of come into this dialogue with objects and characters that are familiar and personal to the artist, but easily recognizable. So a work in this exhibition called Marriage is a reenactment of these characters, ranging from Cookie Monster as a priest to a mask of Chewbacca and two monkeys embracing a vegetable, daikon radish, in this sort of unconventional marriage of characters and toys. It certainly is a commentary on perhaps invoking animism, the sort of embodied existence of toys and objects, our relationships with them as imaginary beings. Also very interesting in this exhibition is they are quite large-scale paintings. Ulala has expanded over the years the scale in which she works. She's working much bigger than she ever has. Again, there's a sense of these figures being, and these objects and these toys being magnified. So there is this sort of immersive engagement with them. We see a figure like Chewbacca in a painting like Ranger, where it looks as if the figure is exploring in the woods or being blown in a windy sort of wooded area. Or in another painting, he's in the midst of flowers where it looks as if he's perhaps escaped from an urban environment with a shopping bag and is immersed in nature. So there's this sort of imaginary or imagined other life that the characters embody in the scenes that Ulala is painting. Aside from the intentionality and choice of subject matter, there's also this really astute depiction and observation of changes in light and seasons. And in some paintings, there's an interplay between natural and the man-made, illuminated light as well. I think this is very prominent in Ulala's depiction, her still life rendering of foodstuff. It looks at depiction of food she's eaten around her home, perhaps during breakfast, so there's a certain light illuminating these objects like a hot dog or a loaf of bread or a slice of bread with butter on it. And then in other paintings, the ones where she's used her garden as a reference point, she's also capturing different changes in light of trees, depicting figures within this change in landscape from dawn to dusk. She's capturing that. And Ulala consistently does that in her work. You have to look and look again. Things are never as they seem. Objects are sort of representing things that might be familiar, but then the more you look at them, they could also be something else. So we see utensils that look like food or food looking like a utensil, interplaying in the different ways she stages the works. I guess in terms of like the way that artists works, there's usually this quite distinct separation between the home and the studio, between being an artist and being part of a family or a mother. And in Ulala's ver as an artist, all of these worlds collide. There's a complete collapse and there's a non-hierarchical way of thinking about these relationships, which is evident in her paintings, in the choice of what she chooses to paint, in the way she works, in the way that home life bleeds into a painting practice, which is intentional, important, and also a sort of new way of thinking about this age-old genre of still life painting and what constitutes still life painting or the image of a still life painter.